everyone, it is 2021. Thank Christ 2021, the worst years, is freaking over. And of course, every start of the year, I talk about movies that I am looking forward to in 2021. This is definitely going to be one of the most crowded years in movies because of so many movies in 2020 getting postponed to this year. Wow, this is going to be a big year for movies. But also, it's going to be another exciting year for movies. There's a lot of big movies that are coming out in 2021. I am so pumped, so I'm going to talk about movies that I am pumped for. Now, this is definitely a hard top 10 list to do because there's a lot of movies in 2021 that I'm honestly really pumped. And especially movies that were coming out in 2020, releasing in 2021, I'm counting those as movies I'm excited for this year also because, of course, they get postponed to this year. So, I want to get started now because I have a lot of honorable mentions to talk about. Like, there's a lot of movies that I'm pumped for in 2021. And of course, there's going to be some movies that I did talk about, my most anticipated movies of 2020, that I'm going to repeat in this video. So, yeah, most of them I'm going to put in my honorable mentions because I don't want to keep repeating them. Like, there's a lot of new movies that are coming out this year also. So, honorable mentions, I'm just going to go real quick because there's a lot. Halloween Kills, Free Guy, In the Heights, West Side Story, Coming to America, Mortal Kombat, Top Gun Maverick, Black Widow, Cherry with Tom Holland, and it's the Russo brothers' new film. And Tom Holland definitely is going big this year. There's a lot of movies ahead this year. Fast and Furious 9, The Internals, The Kingsman, Uncharted, Last Night I Saw Edgar Wright's new movie, Ghostbusters Afterlife, Morbius, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and Kanto, and almost on my number 10, Disney Pixar's Luca. So yes, there's a lot of movies I'm excited for in 2021, but of course, these are the 10 movies that I'm just mostly pumped for in 2021. So, of course, we're not going to do like taglines going number 10 like I usually do. Let's just go straight into my most anticipated movies for 2021. So we're going to start off with number 10 with The Matrix 4. Wow, The Matrix is making a new movie. I'm honestly pumped for that. Because, of course, The Matrix is one of my favorite movies of all time. I studied that at school. It's one of the best studies I've ever done in school. Matrix is a movie that's very special to me. And honestly, I didn't mind Matrix Reloaded, but Revolutions suck. But I'm putting The Matrix 4 in my number 10 because it's still directed by a Wachowski brother. Which, honestly, this could turn out not as great. But honestly, I'm still pumped to see what Neo and Trinity are doing from the set photos. I'm honestly really psyched to see what this movie's about because, of course, I always give movies a chance. Maybe this movie could be better than the sequels. It's a new Matrix film. Interesting. We're excited for that. Hopefully this movie is good. Coming to my number 9 goes to Mission Impossible 7. I love the Mission Impossible franchise, especially the recent ones that came out, including Ghost Protocol, Rogue Nations, and of course one of the best in the franchise in my opinion, Fallout. So of course the same director's coming back for this movie. Tom Cruise, I heard he has a meltdown during this film. Like talking about, oh, they're breaking the rules, the crew members are breaking the rules, not wearing masks and all that stuff, which he does have a point throughout that argument, which I'm just in for Tom Cruise for that. But of course the new Mission Impossible movie I'm honestly really pumped for because most of the Mission Impossible movies have been fantastic. So hopefully the 7th one is the best out of them all. Hopefully it's not terrible. That's why I'm putting this also low on my list because it could be bad. It could be bad. But honestly, it's a new Mission Impossible movie and most of the Mission Impossible movies have been fantastic. So I'm really excited to see what Mission Impossible 7 gives us. Now my number 8 is going to be a weird movie I'm putting my most anticipated, but I grew up with this movie as a kid and now that's making a sequel that's been developed for so long. It's finally coming out this year and that is Space Jam: A New Legacy. I grew up with the first Space Jam. I think it's a movie that, you know, it's in everyone's childhood, especially for 90s kids. Of course, I wasn't born in the 90s, I was born in the 2000s, but honestly, I love Space Jam as a kid, and I love Looney Tunes as a kid. Of course, LeBron James is taking over Michael Jordan in the first film, and honestly, there's going to be a lot of movie cameos in this film too. It's going in the movie world or something like that, which is interesting from Joker. Even Pennywise is going to be in this film. The Mask as well, like wow. But I honestly just want to see the Looney Tunes back because of course we need the Looney Tunes again. I grew up with the Looney Tunes as a kid and I want to see them back on the big screen. Honestly, I just want to see the trailer of this movie and see what this new Space Jam movie is going to give us. Now coming to my number 7 goes to Justice League the Snyder Cut. Yes, I'm honestly really pumped to see what Zack Snyder brings us for this because of course, if you guys don't know, in the original Justice League cut, of course Zack Snyder's daughter committed suicide and of course he has to leave Justice League and get Joss Whedon to direct it, and of course, it turned out to be one of the most disappointing films of that year. So now we're going to see the Snyder Cut that we've all been waiting for. It's 4 hours long, it's coming in episodes, and possibly it could be rated R, which honestly, I am just in for it. From that trailer that came out, wow, I was blown away. It looks like a completely different film on its own. But I'm honestly really psyched to see the actual cut of Justice League, what Zack Snyder has visioned. Coming to my number 6 goes to Venom Let There Be Carnage. I honestly really loved the first Venom movie. I thought that movie was a lot of fun. I didn't give a crap why people hated it. I had so much fun with that film, and it's thanks to Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock and Venom. Now, this movie definitely does a lot of exciting things that are happening with this film. First, Woody Harrelson's going to play Carnage, and I think he's a great actor, and he plays really good psycho killers before. Also, Andy Serkis is directing this film, who of course has been in so many great movies, and I've never seen his directed films before. So I'm honestly really psyched to see what Andy Serkis does as a director. Honestly, I can't wait to see Carnage on the big screen. I want to see what he looks like, but honestly, it's a new Venom movie, and hopefully this movie is as fun as it was than the first movie was. I just want this movie to be bigger and better. Alright, these are my 5 most anticipated films that I'm really psyched for in 2021. Hopefully these movies don't suck. I don't want these movies to suck. Hopefully all these 5 movies are great. My number 5 goes to The Suicide Squad. Now, The Suicide Squad is definitely a movie that I'm honestly very interested in because, of course, James Gunn is directing it, who directed, of course, Guardians of the Galaxy movies. And I think James Gunn is very, very talented. He's a great director. So, honestly, I'm really psyched to see what he brings through to DC since he's done Guardians of the Galaxy, the characters I don't know. I'm really psyched to see what he does with Suicide Squad with other characters that I don't even know. Hopefully, James Gunn brings this movie up and makes it more fun and also make it feel like a film like the Guardians of the Galaxy movie was. I want this to be basically Guardians of the Galaxy with Suicide Squad. I want this movie to be fun and exciting, and from that first look behind the scenes, it looks like we're gonna get that. Coming to my number 4 definitely goes to my most anticipated animated film of 2021, and that is Raya and the Last Dragon. I'm honestly happy that Disney is coming back doing animated films again. Honestly, from these live action films, we're honestly not happy with it. But of course, now Disney is coming back doing more cultures in Disney movies. I think this movie is definitely going to be one of the most interesting Disney films I'm gonna see. From that trailer, it definitely looks different than any other Disney films I've seen. I can't wait to see what the character of Raya brings us, and also Awkwafina as this dragon. Hopefully she's like the next Genie, you know, like the best supporting character, or like the best character in a Disney movie in a while. I want to see more trailers of this film to get what this film's about. Is this going to be a musical? Is this going to be an action film? It looks like it could be both. Hopefully Raya and the Last Dragon definitely brings back what we want from Disney. Definitely number 3 is definitely my most anticipated blockbuster of 2021, and that movie is Kong vs. Godzilla. Hell yeah, these 2 awesome monsters, Godzilla and King Kong, are fighting once again. Since, like, there is Kong vs. Godzilla way back in the 40s, I think, and now we get to see this blockbuster come into the big screen. Now, I know what this movie's going to turn out. It's probably going to have shitty human characters, but honestly, I just want to see King Kong and Godzilla just kick ass in the film. Hopefully this film shows a lot of that. And even on Watch Mojo, this is their number 1 most anticipated film of the year. And I honestly just get more pumped for more MonsterVerse movies leading up to it. Hopefully this movie is not as disappointing. Hopefully this movie is at least fun, exciting, knows exactly what it is. Hopefully it's like Alien vs. Predator, like, you know, a movie that's just very, very fun and exciting, in my opinion. Kong vs. Godzilla, of course, I just want to see these 2 monsters basically brawl at each other. And I think that's what everyone wants in this film. Hopefully they show a lot of that in this film. Definitely number 2 could be a movie that could go in the Oscar season for 2021, and that movie is Dune. Denis Villeneuve, I think he is a masterful filmmaker. Most of his movies he's done, including Blade Runner, Prisoners, Arrival, just amazing films. And especially that he's taking on probably one of the best sci-fi books of all time, Dune. A book that basically inspires every science fiction fan to make films. Honestly, Dune is definitely a movie that I have not heard of. I have not heard of the book, and straight away I read the book after the trailer, and straight away after the book I'm like, okay, I'm excited for this film. The story looks pretty interesting, and of course the cast, huge cast. We got freaking Jason Momoa, Zendaya, Oscar Isaac, Javier Bardem, like just a humongous cast in this film. Hopefully this film is definitely the best science fiction film we need. Like, I want this to be like the next Star Wars. Hopefully this movie brings science fiction back to the table. And Denis Villeneuve, we believe in you. But my number one, this is my most anticipated film for 2021. This is a movie that has so many things happening. And the more news I heard, I'm just pumped for it. And I'm putting this in my number one because I got a feeling this movie could be something special. And it doesn't even have a title yet. And that is the third Spider-Man movie in the MCU. A lot of news, a lot of rumors for this film. We got rumors, or it's even announced in the first place, that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield will be in this movie. We're getting a live-action Spider-Verse. And even Alfred Molina is returning as Doc Ock. Jamie Foxx returning as Electro. Even heard that Charlie Cox might return as Daredevil in this film. Doctor Strange somehow can bring these universes in a Spider-Man film. A lot of things happening, but honestly, I'm excited for that. Hopefully these things are true, because honestly, I would love to see Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland just reenact. I want them to be mostly the main characters in the film. Like, if they're cameos, that's fine, but I feel like there should be a live-action Spider-Verse movie. They should be all in movie throughout the majority of the film. I am a fan of Spider-Man for a while, and I grew up with Spider-Man for a long time, so I'm really excited to see the old Spider-Mans returning, and even the old villains returning. Just everything about this movie brings up something that I'm honestly excited to see in 2021, and a movie that could be the most interesting movie of 2021. Probably this will be the biggest movie that's coming out in 2021. So hopefully these rumors are actually happening. We haven't got a trailer yet. We're supposed to get a trailer this last month, basically. But I think Marvel wants to surprise us, so I got a feeling this movie's going to be special. And that is my most anticipated film of 2021. I even am excited to see what the title is for this movie. Guys, these are my 10 most anticipated movies for 2021. Of course, what are your top 10 most anticipated movies for 2021? This is definitely going to be a good year. Hopefully this year isn't ruined like last year was. I want to see a lot of movies in 2021. There's a lot of exciting movies that are coming out. I don't want movies to keep being postponed to next year. I want this year to be perfect. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. I'm notified for my latest reviews, and make sure you guys follow me on Facebook, status, Instagram, Twitter. Keep contacting me, and have a nice day.